Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Ted Jones World Podcast. Guys, a lot going on in the next upcoming week. We have the Ted Jones Comedy Show Halloween show, October 30th, 11:59 p.m. I already have my costume ready to go. Made a promo video yesterday at the stand, and guys, I look rather slutty in this costume. You know, it is a female costume. It's a plus size women's costume, but I'm super excited to wear it. So if you guys are coming to the Halloween show, get your tickets before Saturday in my Instagram bio, Ted Jones World. We also have a show November 1st, Monday, 7 p.m. So we have an October 30th show and a Monday night show on November 1st at 7 p.m. But guys, check the link in this YouTube video. If you're watching on YouTube, Ted Jones World YouTube channel, what's really good? Or check the link in my Instagram bio, Ted Jones World. So Alec Baldwin, man, that's such a terrible thing to have happen. You know, I bet it's really bad when you kill someone and you really mean to kill someone. I can imagine like what's going on in your head. You're like, wow, fuck, I killed that person. I'm definitely going to jail probably for the rest of my life. I was really mad at that person, but I wish I didn't kill them. I wish I didn't shoot them. I wish I didn't strangle them. But Alec Baldwin killed the director of photography on his movie set. So when I first heard this, I was like, how can you kill somebody with a gun, a prop gun? That makes no sense. You know, like when you see in movies, they have fake money. They have fake 2x4s that you'd hit over somebody's head and it's a piece of rubber. You have fake glass. You have fake cigarettes. All these props, you know? But how could a prop gun kill someone? This is just like alarming to me. And then I heard that prop guns in general, sometimes they'll have actual real guns. They'll take the bullets out of the prop gun, but they'll still have shards of like the bullet inside the prop gun. So I'm imagining that's what happened in this instance. So when they were filling the gun holes, guys, I'm not really even sure like what the gun lingo is here, but like the gun revolver still had shards of bullets in it. So I guess when he shot it, when he pulled the trigger, I mean, it still had bullet shards left in it. But this is just like beyond me that there would be a bullet or shards of a bullet rather left in a gun. It's 2021. How could this possibly happen? Especially with like all the props in the past, what guys, like in the past 50 years in movies, like have we ever really had an issue like this? I read one time that this did happen on set back in like 1996 or something, but it's crazy that we had a gun that still had bullets in it. Absolutely nuts. Poor Alec Baldwin. You know, as I was saying, when you kill someone and you meant to do it, I can imagine what's going on in your head. You're like, fuck, I killed this person. I can't believe I did that. Imagine if you didn't try and kill someone and you killed someone. That's got to be tough on his mind, on his psyche. But Alec, I wish you the best, man. And nice little tweet you put out to the family of the woman that you accidentally killed. That's really got to be something tough that you got to get over. But speaking of someone being killed and then being found dead, Brian Laundrie. So Gabby Petito, a number of weeks ago when they did the autopsy report, they found out that she had been strangled to death. And then the other day they found Brian Laundrie's remains in like a swamp area. So there are conspiracy theorists, obviously, you know, in any situation, but conspiracy theorists here are saying that potentially Brian Laundrie's parents put his supplies and maybe like, I don't know, some of his DNA near this swamp, but like they found bones. So I don't see how they'd be able to put bones of their son, you know, near a swampland to try and convince the FBI or whatever that he was dead. Also, conspiracy theorists think that Brian was hiding under the Laundrie's like plant bed. They have like a little garden in their backyard. So conspiracy theorists have thought about that too. But I mean, killing somebody when you mean to do it, or I don't know if he meant to do it, but when you strangle someone to death, I mean, it's got to be a pretty aggressive motion or movement, right? Like you don't strangle somebody to death by accident. So I'm sure that he wasn't really able to handle it. And now they're both dead, unfortunately. But are we 100% certain that Brian Laundrie did it? Maybe a silly question. But I feel like the past 4 or 5 days, I really haven't heard much on the story. Like, are we convinced that Brian Laundrie did it? I mean, I imagine that he did it. I'm like 99% sure that he did do it. So almost as sure as people not dying from COVID. You know, apparently the survival rate is over 99%. What is it, like 99.8%? So I do have a bone to pick with COVID. Way to transition there. But wearing masks outside, a little confusing to me, guys. I'm all for keeping other people around you safe and making sure that other people don't get the virus. But guys, if we all have the vaccine, or I guess it's now probably around like 75% of us have the vaccine, why are we wearing masks? Why do we have to wear masks inside? If the survival rate was over 99% and people have all gotten vaccinated, why are we wearing masks? Why are people wearing masks on the street? Is this controversial the way I'm talking about this? I don't think so. Like, why in certain places do I have to wear a mask? I went to the DMV the other week. They made me wear a mask. They had masks, which is something that actually makes it more okay. If you're going to ask people to wear masks in your store, your restaurant, whatever it is, you better have, a package of 500 masks that you're willing to give out to people. I don't mind it. If you want me to wear a mask in your store, whatever, it's your business, sure. But you better have a mask. I don't want to be booted from a place because I don't have a mask. I've gotten the vaccine, and the survival rate is pretty good if you do indeed get COVID. I saw that Paul Tudor Jones, a big guy in finance, got COVID the other day after attending a Robinhood event. I know his daughters, by the way. That's just irrelevant, but both of his daughters I am friendly with, or I was friendly with. It's funny, guys, how you just go through a bunch of different friend groups throughout your life, right? Like every 7 or 8 years, you seem to get like a cleanse. You get like a new friend group. Like the first 7 years of my life, I had, like 5 probably close friends. And the reason I was close with them because my parents were friends with them. Or maybe they lived in the building, they went to preschool, and then you go to kindergarten. You have another set of friends there for another 7 years. And then, you go off to high school and then college. So it's like 0 to 7, you have your set of friends, probably because of your parents. 7 to 14, you have a different set of friends. Maybe you guys both like arts and crafts or something, but I hate arts and crafts, whatever. Maybe you both like basketball or something, kickball, wiffle ball. You go to high school, you start smoking weed. You start maybe trying cigarettes, so you hang out with a certain crowd. And then you go to college, you have a new set of friends, graduate from college, and then right around the age of 30, you get a new set of friends that are probably more in line of what your career goals are, right? Because they say if 5 of your friends are doing one thing, chances are you'll be the 6th person to do that one thing. If you hang around 5 successful people, they say you'll be the 6th. You hang around 5 dopes, you'll be the 6th dope. But kind of a weird tangent there. But in thoughts with that, COVID is not killing as many people as previously because we do have the vaccine now, guys. So in a place like New York, I don't know if I support the mask inside rule. Like I support the fact that you need to have your Excelsior pass, right? You guys know what I mean? So you have to have a pass in order to get into certain businesses, sure. Like at the Stand Comedy Club where we have the Ted Jones Comedy Show coming up on October 30th and November 1st, you have to show your vaccination card. But in showing your vaccination card, you're not going to have to wear a mask inside. That assumes that you're clear from everything, especially with such a high survival rate. Wearing a mask seems like overkill. You're taking away liberties from the public. I don't usually speak like this, but I'm starting to understand it. When I see some of you guys wearing masks on the street, walking around the city, some of you even double masks, I'm like, all right, guys. Like what is your reason for that? Are you unvaccinated? Okay. That's a thought, or that's a choice. You're unvaccinated. But if you're vaccinated and you're wearing double masks, what's the point? What's the difference between now and 2 years ago? In terms of like if you're unvaccinated now and unvaccinated 2 years ago. Like, what is the point of that? MTA making everybody wear a mask. I maybe understand that a little bit more because you don't need a vaccination card or a vaccination pass to take the subway. So theoretically, a lot of people could be unvaccinated, unmasked on the train, and maybe that'll spread it, and then we have an issue again in terms of ICU beds in New York. Maybe that's something that I understand. You want everybody to have their masks on in MTA. But in businesses, wearing it on the street, we got to get back to normal sometime, guys. Going in like full lockdown mode, like something like Australia, not for me. Taking away the liberties of our people. I don't usually speak like this in terms of like, oh, no masks, no vaccine, shake hands, give hugs. We have the vaccine now. Take the vaccine. You don't need to wear a mask anymore. And this is coming from a guy who I'm pretty sure, now I didn't test positive, but I'm pretty sure that I got the Delta variant. You know, I've spoke about this on the podcast, spoke about this on the vlog before, but about, I guess it was like 10 weeks ago now, I was some of the sickest I've ever been in my whole life. About 9 or 10 days my body temperature was never at one consistent basis. You know, every single night for 10 nights, I sweat through the sheets. I was freezing. Then I was super hot, headaches, stomach bug, cramps all over my body. You know, like, it just felt like it hurt every time I was moving. Did I have corona? No, because, I mean, I got tested 5 times. Was it something that couldn't be tested by the corona tests? The COVID-19 tests? Maybe. But I was sick. I was sick as a dog for 9 or 10 days. And one thing that the government never talks about, guys, you know, they'll talk about you getting your vaccine shot, wearing a mask, but what are you eating? What's going into your body? Let's talk about that first. Let's talk about what you're eating, and let's talk about your health regimen. Okay? Are you working out 2 or 3 days a week? Are you eating well? Are you eating fruits? Are you eating vegetables? If you're going to Wendy's for lunch and then having McDonald's for dinner and you're not working out, I mean, guys, you can only stuff yourself with so many chemicals that your body's not used to. We didn't have McDonald's 100 years ago. We didn't have Wendy's 100 years ago. You know what we were eating? Fruits, vegetables, things that were given to us by God or the universe. I'm vegan. You guys all know by now that I'm a vegan. I'm a proud vegan for sure. People say, oh, well, I just love meat so much. I love cheese so much. Try the alternatives. Try the substitutes. As time goes on, guys, with this global warming, killing of animals, you got to wake up at some point. We have to wake up as a society. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep slaughtering animals by the billions every single year. We're able to feed 80 billion animals per year that we're eating, and we can't feed 7 billion humans. People will say, well, what are we feeding these animals, Ted? Sure, we're feeding them wheat, feeding them things that maybe aren't so good for humans, but that's besides the point. Plants are in the ground. There's unlimited of them. Vegetables in the ground, fruits on trees. Let's switch it up. Guys, try for a week. Try for a week without cheese. A week without whole milk in your coffee. I drink my coffee. You guys see it's here black. I'm not saying you got to drink it black, but try a different milk in it. There's rice milk, coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk. As there's so many different kinds of milk. You don't need to be having the milk that's from the cow's udders. Think about how weird that is. Would you put your mouth on a cow's udder to get that milk? You'd say absolutely not, right? I would think that almost 100% of you would say absolutely not. You put your mouth on the cow's udder, and then you start sucking at it for milk. You know, when you're drinking that milk, you're taking it away from a baby cow. A baby cow should be drinking that milk. Think about how weird that is. If your dog started breastfeeding from a human, dog started licking women's boobies, it ain't right. Guys, we're not seeing this from a whole, perspective. People are, oh, I love dogs. I love cats. Oh my God, they eat dogs in China? Oh no. Like, what the hell is the difference between eating a dog and eating a pig? Tell me. Please tell me. You think dogs are cuter than a pig? Pigs taste better than dogs? What's the reason here? I'm ahead of my time. I'm a little bit ahead of my time, I'll say, because a lot of you still eat meat. Probably 95% of you listening to this still eat meat. Do I still love you for listening to this podcast? Of course. Of course. As always, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe if you're listening to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. But guys, times have got to change. Some of you people, oh, you love Miami, you love Florida. Florida's going to be underwater within the next 20 years if we keep doing what we're doing. A lot of us are in the age realm of where we're going to be around in 20 years, right? We can't keep doing what we're doing. We're destroying our planet. And I know that you know that. It's in the back of your mind, but maybe you don't want to address it. Whatever it is, for your coffee in the morning. That's one thing that we could switch right away. Right away. No more cow milk in our coffee. So that's step one, guys. And then slowly just start to take meat out of your diet. I used to eat chicken every single day. Every single day for 26 years, probably. I'd have a chicken in my salad or I'd have chicken for dinner. Sometimes I'd have chicken twice a day. Chicken in the salad that I ate for lunch and then chicken that I ate for dinner. Was eating fish so much. But we are destroying our planet, as we all know now. It's like we're just refusing to kind of believe it, But just think about what society is going to look like for our grandchildren. Some people don't even want to have kids in the environment that we have set up for ourselves, right? Polar ice caps are melting. It's getting hotter. It's getting colder. The temperature is changing. We got to change something, guys. Because we, as humans, are destroying this lovely planet as I point to the world behind me. Look at this lovely world that we have. Everything here is given to us by the universe. We don't need to kill animals to eat. You guys know that by now. This is a serious podcast. I didn't even mean to get so seriously involved in talking about vegan foods and talking about vegan ways. But guys, just start by cutting out meat in your diet. If you eat meat every single day, let's try and bring it down to 3 times a week, something like that. Just get in a groove where you aren't relying on the death of animals. Think about how many animals you'll save a day by not eating meat. If you eat one less meal of chicken per day, think about that. You're killing one less chicken per day. Maybe even more, because I imagine that, that chicken in your salad isn't all coming from one chicken, guys. Or that hamburger, that burger, whatever it is, isn't coming from just one cow. So let's just try. Let's try. I'd like to think that I'm not so ahead of my time in telling people that we need to cut down on the meat, stop having cow milk. But the damage is almost irreversible. You guys have heard this on many occasions from many different people, but it's almost going to be too late. We want our kids and grandkids to be able to enjoy this beautiful world landscape that we have here. As I point again to the world map behind me. Guys, this was more of a serious episode. A little vegan talk. So don't just shut it off because you guys don't want to hear what I'm saying and then be like 10 years from now, oh, Ted was talking about being vegan 10 years ago. Yeah, I friggin' was. Eat more vegetables, eat more fruit. You guys are going to even be healthier, feel healthier, look better than you do. If you have all this dead animal carcass in your body, how are you going to feel alive? How are you going to feel healthy? Tell me, how does that work? You put dead spirits, put dead flesh in your body? Come on. Come on. I'm giving this to you guys real. The way that I'd like to be known is not, a full vegan guy who just shuns everybody who eats meat, but it's sounding like that right now. Let's just try and eat less, okay? As you're listening to this, Let's just try and eat less. Quite a rant, guys. Ted Jones World Podcast here. Ted Jones Vlog also on the YouTube channel. If you guys are watching via YouTube, don't forget to click that subscribe button. It's always appreciated. Send me an email, tedjonesworld@gmail.com. Would love to hear from you guys, and would obviously love to see you guys at every single Ted Jones comedy show. The next two that are coming up this Saturday, 11:59 p.m., October 30th, at the Stand Comedy Club and Restaurant, 116 East 16th Street. You guys check the link in this YouTube video or wherever you're listening to this, maybe audio service. The link is right there. Come to the Ted Jones Comedy Show. Get dressed up for that October 30th show. Come on Monday night, have dinner, drinks. Both of those shows are going to be amazing. And then you'll see our future shows are November 15th and November 29th as well. So all November dates are set, and I hope to see you guys at that Halloween show in a sexy costume, and every single date in November, because that'll be amazing. This is going back to Thursday when we were talking about Bill Clinton and the show on TV called Impeachment. Impeachment is just basically like a behind-the-scenes documentary, but it's played out by actors of what Monica Lewinsky went through in terms of like, this is when the .com era started and cyberbullying really became a thing. But I was saying it was time for Bill Clinton to be canceled, and we had Amber right into the podcast say, my worst habit is probably chewing with my mouth open. But to be fair, I'm always sick, so I usually can't breathe out of my nose, so I have to. She says, stop biting your nails. #germs. #COVID-19. TTYL. Well, Amber, if you listen to this entire rant that I just went on, I think maybe it's time you start eating more plants. Maybe it's time you start eating more fruit. Let's eat things that are alive, guys, so we feel alive. This is stuff that the government isn't telling you. Government's telling you, put on your mask, get a shot in your arm, then you're good. You're fine. Don't even worry about working out. Don't even worry about what you're eating. Those are two more important things than getting your shot and getting your mask or wearing a mask. Maybe controversial in saying that your diet and your health in terms of working out are more important than wearing a mask and getting a needle in your arm. But I'm going to go ahead and say all four of those things will keep you from an early death. How many people do you guys see walking around who are over 75 years old that you consider overweight? Not a lot of people. Because those people that are overweight at 65, they're not living as long. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. TedJonesWorld@gmail.com. But you don't see any obese people at age 75. You don't see that. Everybody who you see who's between the ages of 75 and 100, they're slim. They've kept maybe a workout regimen. Their diet is good. Maybe they're not eating as much. They're not stuffing their food with chemicals and processed shit. Guys, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I was eating McDonald's almost every night. 25 pounds heavier than I am right now. Something had to change. I had a torn labrum, bad back, torn groin. So many things were wrong with me. This is like during a time in my life when I wasn't working out and I was just eating shit. So for a girl like Amber, who's chewing with her mouth open, yeah, that's a habit you don't want to have, Amber, of course. And she says, but to be fair, I'm always sick, so I can't usually breathe out of my nose. So let's switch the diet. Let's focus on sleep, diet, and working out. Those are the three biggest things, guys. Make sure you're getting at least 7.5 hours of sleep per night. I know it's tough sometimes, but just make sure that you're getting 7.5 hours. Go to bed a little bit earlier, eat better, work out, hit the gym twice a week. An hour and a half a week. That's what I'll say. At least. An hour and a half a week, guys, and try and get 50,000 steps a week in. They say 10,000 steps a day. Well, you figured if that's 10,000 steps a day, that's 70,000 a week. I'm even saying 50,000 a week. I know it's hard to move about in the suburbs, so walk down that street. Walk to the stop sign at the end of your street and back 20 times. Do that. Get out, look at the leaves, leave your phone at home. I'm running like 2 or 3 days a week now outside as it's getting a little bit chillier, but I leave my phone at home. when I do go to the gym, I got my headphones on, I got my phone there, but I'm not looking at my phone. I've got plenty of time to scroll through my phone, look at Instagram and TikTok or whatever the shit we're looking at these days while I'm sitting here at home in front of the TV. We've got TV in the phone. Maybe put some restriction settings on your phone. You don't need more than 2 hours of TikTok and Instagram a day, do you? I've got restrictions on my phone, guys. We have to think for ourselves in a society today that is so filled with all this media crap telling you to do this, do this, do this. Let's look what's going on internally, guys. Stop trying to have these external things make your life. Let's have our internal things make our life. Well, in order for us to be alive, to feel alive, let's eat things that are alive and feel alive. Let's eat things that have a high vibration. You don't want a dead cow inside of you. What do you think the vibration is of that? This was like a ranting AF episode. Guys, I hope you like this one. Ted Jones World Podcast. As you know, we release this podcast Mondays and Thursdays. I love it when you guys tune in and write emails, tedjonesworld@gmail.com. We have the Ted Jones Vlog Tuesdays and Fridays, so make sure you tune into the Ted Jones World YouTube channel for that too. Ted Jones Comedy Show this coming Saturday. I hope to see you guys in a sexy ass costume or even a funny costume. That'll even be just as good or probably better. This Saturday, 11:59 p.m., so you guys don't get confused. And then we also have a show Monday, November 1st at 7 p.m. But guys, check the link in this YouTube video, Spotify description, Apple Podcast description, Amazon Music, or wherever you guys are listening to this podcast. And would love to see you guys at a comedy show. Write in. I always love hearing from you guys. And thank you, as always, for listening to the Ted Jones World Podcast. Peace.